Hello and welcome to another part of this chapter graph theory. In this part we shall discuss about graph coloring. So what does it mean? So let us consider one simple graph here. If we consider this simple graph, then this graph has 5 vertices and some number of edges. So for this graph, if we want to color the vertices in such a manner that no two adjacent vertices will have the same color. As for example, if we consider these two vertices V1 and V2. So if we want to color this vertex V1 by a color, call it C1. So if we color the vertex V1 by the color C1, then we can't color the vertex V2 by the same color C1 because these two vertices are adjacent to each other, because these two are connected by this edge. So if we color the vertex V1 by color C1, then we can color the vertex V2 by another color, suppose C2. Or in simple language, if we want to color the vertex V1 by blue color, then we can't color the vertex V2 by blue color. In that case, we can color the vertex V2 by suppose white color. Now we consider the vertex V5. Now here we find that the vertex V2 and V5 are adjacent. So we have colored the vertex V2 by white color. So we can't color the vertex V5 by white color because these two vertices are adjacent to each other. But if we consider these two vertices, then V1 is colored by blue color. So we can color the vertex V5 by the same color blue because these two vertices are not adjacent, because there is no edge from V1 to V5. So remember that by graph coloring we mean every vertex of the graph will be assigned one color in such a manner that no two adjacent vertices will have the same color. Next we define K vertex colorable graph. So let us define K vertex colorable graph. This is the definition of K vertex colorable graph. A simple graph is called K vertex colorable if the graph can be colored from a set of K different colors. So suppose we have been given a set of K different colors. Now if a given simple graph can be colored by the set of K different colors, then we call that the graph is K vertex colorable. As for example, if we consider this graph, now suppose we have been given 4 different colors. These colors are suppose blue, white, yellow and violet. Suppose there are 4 given colors: blue, white, yellow and violet. Now let us check whether this graph can be colored by this set of 4 different colors. So let us start here. Suppose we first consider this vertex V2 and we can color this vertex arbitrarily. So suppose we can color this vertex V2 by white color. So if we assign the color white to the vertex V2, then by the definition the vertex V1 cannot be assigned the same color white because V1 and V2 are adjacent vertices. So we have to assign a different color to the vertex V1. Suppose we are assigning the color blue to the vertex V1. So we can color this vertex V1 by blue color. Next we consider the vertex V3. Now here we find that the vertex V3 is adjacent to the vertex V2. So we can't assign the white color to the vertex V3 because this is adjacent to V2. So we have to assign a different color to the vertex V3. Now we can assign any color to the vertex V3 except this white color. Suppose we are assigning yellow color to the vertex V3. Next we consider the vertex V4. Now V4 is adjacent to V3, so we can't assign yellow color to the vertex V4, so we have to assign a different color than yellow. Now since V4 is adjacent to V3, so we can assign any other color except yellow. Suppose we are assigning blue color here again. Now we consider the last vertex V5. Now here we find that V5 is adjacent to V2 and V4. So we can't assign the color white to V5 because it is adjacent to V2, and we can't assign blue color to the vertex V5 because V5 is adjacent to V4. So we have to assign a different color to V5. We can assign any different colors other than blue and white. Suppose we are assigning violet color to this vertex V5. So now we have colored this graph with 4 different colors. So this graph will be called 4 vertex colorable graph. So remember that a graph is called k vertex colorable if we can color the graph by using k different colors. Now the next question is, can we color this graph with only 3 colors? Suppose this violet color is not given. We have been given only 3 colors, blue, white and yellow. Now the question is, can we color this graph by only these 3 colors? So let us check. Now except for the vertex V5, we find that the remaining 4 vertices can be colored with only these 3 colors, blue, white and yellow. Now we consider the last vertex V5. Now here we find that we cannot assign white or blue color to this vertex V5, but we can assign yellow color to this vertex V5 because this vertex V5 is not adjacent to the vertex V3. So we can assign yellow color to this vertex V5 because there is no edge between V3 and V5. So we can assign yellow color to this vertex V5. So now we can find that this graph can also be colored with only 3 colors, blue, white and yellow. So this graph is also 3 vertex colorable graph. Now the important question is, what is the minimum number of different colors required to color this graph? So this is a vital question. So what is the minimum number of colors required to color a particular graph? Now that particular number is called chromatic number of that graph. So we define chromatic number. This is the definition of chromatic number of a graph. A graph is called k chromatic graph, or the chromatic number of the graph is k if the graph can be colored with k different colors but not with k minus 1 number of different colors. So chromatic number of a graph is k if k is the minimum number of different colors required to color the graph. So if chromatic number of a graph is 5, then the graph can be colored with 5 different colors, but the graph cannot be colored with only 4 colors. So this is the definition of chromatic number. Now let us find the chromatic number of this graph. Now we have already shown that this graph can be colored with only 3 colors. So the chromatic number of this graph will be less equal to 3, because we know that chromatic number of a graph is the least number of colors required to color a graph. So we can color this graph with only 3 colors. Next, the question is, can we color this graph with only 2 colors? So suppose we have been given only 2 colors, white and yellow. Now let us check whether we can color this graph with only these 2 colors, white and yellow. So let us start. Suppose we are assigning the color white to this vertex V2, then we can assign the color yellow to the vertex V1. Now V3 is adjacent to V2, so we have to assign yellow color to the vertex V3. Next we consider the vertex V5. Here we find that this vertex V5 is adjacent to V2, so we have to assign yellow color to V5. Now we consider the vertex V4. Now V4 is adjacent to both V3 and V5. Now these two vertices are assigned with yellow color. So we can assign white color to this vertex V4 because V4 is not adjacent to V2. So here we find that we can color this graph with only two colors, white and yellow. So therefore the chromatic number of this graph will be less equal to 2. Now the next question is, can we color this graph with only one color? Now this is not possible because the graph contains at least one edge, so we can't color this graph with only one color. So here we have found that 2 is the minimum number of colors required to color this graph. So this 2 is the chromatic number of this graph. So remember that if we want to find the chromatic number of a graph, then we have to find the minimum number of colors required to color the graph. Next we consider one important point, that chromatic number of null graph is 1. If we consider one graph with only the vertices and no edges, so if a graph has only vertices but no edge, then we can assign, suppose white color to this vertex, then we can assign white color to this vertex, again white color to this vertex, because these vertices are not adjacent. So if a graph contains no edge, then chromatic number of this graph is 1 because we can assign the same color to all the vertices of the graph. We consider one more point. If a graph can be colored with m number of colors, then chromatic number of this graph G is less equal to m. Now we have already discussed this point, that if we can find that a graph can be colored with m number of colors, then chromatic number of this graph will be less equal to m, and chromatic number of a graph G is denoted by this symbol chi of G. Now chi means the chromatic number of the graph G. If we consider another graph G1, then we shall write chi of G1, that means chromatic number of the graph G1. Next we consider one theorem. Now we have already obtained that chromatic number of a null graph is 1. Now we shall find the chromatic number of a complete graph with n vertices. Now the statement of this theorem is, chromatic number of a complete graph with n vertices is n. So we shall prove this theorem by mathematical induction. We know that a complete graph with n vertices is denoted by kn. So we start the proof here. So by mathematical induction we assume this statement that chromatic number, which is denoted by chi, so chromatic number of kn, that is a complete graph with n vertices, is n. So we have to prove that this statement is true for any natural number n. So we start the proof here. First we assume that n equal to 1, that is the number of vertex is 1. So if we consider a graph with only one vertex, then this graph has one vertex and no edge. So we can color this vertex by any color. So only one color is required to color this graph. So it is easy to note that chromatic number of K1 is 1. Now if we consider n equal to 2, then we shall consider the graph K2, and we know that this is the graph K2, the graph which has two vertices and a joining edge. Now here we find that we can color this graph with two colors. We can assign a color to this vertex, suppose we can assign yellow color to this vertex, then we have to assign a different color to this vertex, suppose blue. So we can color this graph with only two colors. So chromatic number of K2 is 2. Next, by mathematical induction we shall assume that chromatic number of Km is m. That means a complete graph with m vertices has chromatic number m. Now using this we shall prove that the chromatic number of Km plus 1 is m plus 1. That is, chromatic number of a complete graph with m plus 1 vertices is m plus 1. So we have assumed this, the chromatic number of Km is m. Let us assume that this is the graph Km. This graph has m number of vertices and every pair of vertices are connected by exactly one edge. So this is the complete graph Km. Now we have already assumed that this graph has chromatic number m. Now we have to prove that chromatic number of a complete graph having m plus 1 vertices is m plus 1. So now let us add one more vertex, we call it Vm plus 1. Now we have to make this graph as complete graph. For that we have to connect V1 and Vm plus 1, and also we have to connect V2 and Vm plus 1, V3 and Vm plus 1, and similarly Vm and Vm plus 1. So this vertex is adjacent to each of these m vertices. Now we have already assumed that these m vertices are colored with m different colors. Now V1 is adjacent to Vm plus 1, so we can't assign the same color to Vm plus 1, that of V1. Similarly V2 is adjacent to Vm plus 1, so we can't assign the same color to the Vm plus 1, that of V2. Again it is adjacent to V3, V4 and also Vm. So we can't assign any of these m colors by which we have colored this graph Km. So to color this vertex Vm plus 1, we have to introduce a new color. So we have to introduce a m plus 1th color to color this vertex, because this vertex is adjacent to all of these remaining m vertices. So now if we consider this graph, this complete graph having m plus 1 vertices, then what is the minimum number of colors required to color this graph? Now simply here we find that the minimum number of colors that is required is m plus 1. So the chromatic number of Km plus 1 is m plus 1. So assuming that chromatic number of Km is m, we have proved that chromatic number of Km plus 1 is m plus 1. So by mathematical induction we can conclude that this statement is true for any natural number n. That means the chromatic number of a complete graph with n vertices is n. So that completes the theorem. Now we consider the next theorem, that is, if one vertex is deleted from Kn, then the chromatic number of the remaining graph is n minus 1. Now this proof is very simple. If we delete one vertex from a complete graph, then the remaining graph will be again a complete graph. If we consider this graph Km plus 1, if we delete this vertex and the adjacent edges, then the remaining graph will be again a complete graph Km. So if one vertex is deleted from a complete graph, then the remaining graph will be again a complete graph having one less number of vertices. So therefore the chromatic number of the remaining graph will be one less than the number of Kn. That means the chromatic number of the remaining graph will be n minus 1. So this is a very simple proof. We are skipping this proof. We consider the next theorem. Chromatic number of an even cycle is 2 and that of an odd cycle is 3. So you have to prove that chromatic number of an even cycle is 2 and chromatic number of an odd cycle is 3. We consider this even cycle C2m, that means a cycle with 2m number of vertices. So an even cycle of 2m number of vertices will be like that: v1, v2, v3, v4, v5, v6, v2m minus 1 up to v2m. So this is an example of even cycle having 2m number of vertices. Now let us find the chromatic number of this even cycle. Now suppose we have been given 3 colors: white, blue and yellow. So let us find the chromatic number of this even cycle. So first we can color this vertex v1 by white color. Now v2, we have to assign a different color to v2. Suppose we are assigning blue color to the vertex v2 because it is adjacent to v1. Now consider the vertex v3. Now here we find that v3 is adjacent to v2, so we can't assign blue color to this vertex, but we can assign white color to this vertex v3 because it is not adjacent to v1. Next we consider v4. Here we find that V4 is adjacent to V3, so we can't assign white color to V4, but we can assign blue color to vertex V4 because V4 is not adjacent to V2. So we can assign blue color here. Similarly, we can assign white color here and blue color here. So continuing in this process, we have found that the vertices V1, V3, V5, etc. these can be colored with the same color white, and V2, V4, V6 these vertices are colored with same color blue. So continuing in this way, this vertex V2m-1, the index is odd number, so this vertex can be colored with white color, and since this vertex has even index, so this vertex can be colored with blue color. Now here we find that this vertex is adjacent to both V1 and V2m-1. Now V1 has white color and V2m-1 has also white color, so we can assign V2m with blue color. So now if we consider this event cycle, we find that this event cycle can be colored with only two colors. Now this is the minimum number of colors required to color this event cycle. So here we find that the chromatic number of an event cycle is 2 because we can color an event cycle with only two colors. Next, let us find the chromatic number of an odd cycle. Next, we consider an odd cycle C2m+1 having 2m+1 number of vertices. So this is the odd cycle C2m+1. Now by applying the same logic we have used for this event cycle, we can color the vertex P1 by white color, this by blue color. It is white, blue, white, blue, white, blue. So we have colored the vertices alternatively by white and blue colors. Now we consider the final vertex V2m+1. So this is an odd cycle, so we have odd number of vertices. Now this last vertex cannot be colored with white color. We can't assign white color to V2m+1 because this is adjacent to V1. Similarly, we can't assign blue color to V2m+1 because it is adjacent to V2m. We have already assigned blue color to V2m. So we have to assign a third color to the vertex V2m+1. Suppose we are assigning yellow color here. So now here we find that for an odd cycle we need 3 different colors. So this is the least number of colors required to color this odd cycle. So that means the chromatic number of an odd cycle is 3. So that completes the theorem that chromatic number of an event cycle is 2 and chromatic number of an odd cycle is 3. We consider one more theorem here. A simple graph is bipartite if and only if its chromatic number is 2. So you have to prove this theorem. So let us start the theorem. First we assume that a simple graph is a bipartite graph. So we assume that G is a graph which is a bipartite graph. We know that a bipartite graph is that graph where the set of vertices can be subdivided into two subsets V1 and V2, where V1 contains some vertices and V2 contains some other vertices, in such a way that no two vertices of V1 are adjacent and no two vertices of V2 are adjacent. But there may be an edge between a vertex of V1 and a vertex of V2. So a bipartite graph will be like that. The set of vertices can be subdivided into two subsets. This is a one subset V1 and this is another subset V2, such that any two vertices of V1 and any two vertices of V2 are not adjacent. So there does not exist any edge between any two vertices of V1, and also there does not exist any edge between any two vertices of V2. So we can find that we can assign the same color to all the vertices of V1 because these two vertices are not adjacent. So we can assign, suppose, white color to V1, also white color to V2, white color to V3, etc. because these two vertices are not adjacent. And we can assign some yellow color to vertex E1 and also yellow color to vertex E2, yellow color to vertex E3, etc. because no two vertices of V2 are adjacent. But there may be an edge between a vertex of V1 and a vertex of V2. So we can color all the vertices of V1 by only single color white, and we can assign a single color to all the vertices of V2. So here we have found that a bipartite graph can be colored with only two colors. So therefore the chromatic number of a bipartite graph is 2. So that completes the first part of the theorem. Now we consider the converse part, that chromatic number of a graph is 2. It is given. So chromatic number of a graph G is 2. It is given. We have to prove that this graph is a bipartite graph. Now since chromatic number of a graph is 2, that means we can color the graph G by only two colors. Suppose we can color the graph with only two colors, suppose black and white. So we can color the graph G with only two colors, black and white. Now let us find the set of vertices where blue color is assigned. So suppose that the vertices which are assigned with blue colors, these are U1, U2, U3, etc. And the vertices which are assigned with only white color, these are V1, V2, V3, etc. So these vertices are colored with only single color black, and these vertices are colored with single color white. So here we find that all the vertices U1, U2, U3, these are colored with black colors, and all the vertices V1, V2, V3, V4, these are assigned with white color. That means no two vertices of U1, U2, U3, etc. these are adjacent, because if these are adjacent, then these cannot be assigned with same color. So all the vertices U1, U2, etc. these are not adjacent. Similarly, these vertices V1, V2, V3, these are assigned with same color white. So no two vertices of V1, V2, V3, these are adjacent. But there may be an edge between a vertex of U1, U2, etc. and a vertex of V1, V2, V3, etc. So that means there exists no edge between any two vertices of this subset, and there exists no edge between any two vertices of this subset. That means the set of vertices of G can be divided into two subsets. We call it suppose V1 and we call it suppose V2, such that no two vertices of V1 are adjacent and no two vertices of V2 are adjacent. That means this graph G is a bipartite graph. So that completes the proof that if chromatic number of a graph is 2, then the graph is a bipartite graph. So that completes the theorem. Now you consider one important point here, that chromatic number of a tree is 2. We know that a tree is a bipartite graph, so chromatic number of a tree is 2. So we must remember that chromatic number of a tree is 2. So with this we complete this part. So see you in the next part of this chapter. Until then, thanks for watching.